So, Hollywood has weighed in on the Judge Kavanaugh situation. They did a couple of days ago to give us their sage advice and direction on how we should all be living our lives. I always appreciate getting a lecture from actors and actresses. Yay. And so I thought it might be fun to think about and kind of explore what Hollywood would look like if they held themselves to their own standards. So what if, in order to be cast in a movie, you had to undergo a background check, and if you had any sexual misconduct allegations against you, no matter how lacking in credibility, if you had any allegations from any point in your life, you don't get the part. You just don't work in Hollywood. You can't get a job as an actor or an actress. What would that look like? And so let's say, Matt Damon. Now, I don't know Matt Damon. I have never met Matt Damon. I don't know anything about Matt Damon. This is not an accusation. This is a hypothetical situation. I just want to clarify that because there appears to be a large contingent of the country that doesn't recognize a hypothetical situation when it's given. So, hypothetically, Matt Damon is rude to a woman on a plane, and she comes forward and says, he was really rude to me. He made me feel really small and unimportant, and it really hurt my feelings. And after he left, I had to go cry in the bathroom for 10 minutes. Is that something that's going to get him banned? And now, he can't respond to this. He's not allowed to respond to this because we have to believe her. We have to believe that that's what happened and that's how she feels. And even though he's trying to tell us that she's a crazy stalker, that he's got 3 restraining orders against, none of that is relevant because the woman must be believed. So would that be enough to disqualify him? Would he never work in movies again? Or would he have to have grabbed her ass or groped her tit? Is that something that would be enough to disqualify him? Or what would that standard actually look like? And how far back would we go? Because apparently, when it comes to allegations of sexual misconduct, there is no redemption. There is no redemptive arc. There is no opportunity to recover. So it doesn't matter what you've done for the last, 35 years or so. If 36 years ago, you did something that made a woman uncomfortable, or she believes you assaulted her, whether you see the situation that way or not is not relevant. So what does that ultimately look like? What would the quality of our movies look like? How would Hollywood operate? Because in order to cast a movie, it wouldn't just be about the auditions and finding the right person for the role. It would also be, once you have chosen your actor or actress, now you've got to do the background check. You probably ought to check with the paparazzi because they're going to have all the secrets, and go and find out, have they done anything that now disqualifies them from the role? What would our movies look like? Would Hollywood get more moral? Would the casting couch become an absolute thing of the past? Would we no longer need a Me Too movement because you wouldn't be able to work? It wouldn't be sleep with me or you work. It would be you make me sleep with you, you'll never work again. So it could be really good. Or we could find that you can't put together a decent movie. Hollywood could shut down completely. We wouldn't get another movie for 5 or 6 years. And then when we did get the movie, it would be of the quality level of your basic Hallmark Christmas special or Christian flick, where it's like, okay, the writing and the acting is adequate, but, give you props for trying. So what would it look like? It's really kind of fun to think about. What would the rules be? I mean, there are some schools now that consider it a sexual assault if a 6-year-old boy kisses a 6-year-old girl without her consent. And so if you went to Hollywood with dreams of being a big actor and they found a sexual assault suit against you from when you were 6 years old, are you now banned forever? Because again, no redemption. Once a sexual assaulter, always a sexual assaulter. So, and again, doesn't matter how credible the charges are because you're not allowed to question the woman anyway. She must be believed. So how would that look? Would they be willing to imply or to apply their own standards to themselves? How about the music industry? What would that look like? So would you not be allowed to go on tour if you had accusations of sexual assault against you? Because, I mean, we don't want to spread your toxic masculinity all over the country now, do we? Let's keep you isolated in your little area where your toxic masculinity is already permeated. We're not going to infect the rest of the country with that toxic masculinity. So you definitely wouldn't be able to play the Super Bowl. Oh, God, no. You can't be the Super Bowl halftime show if you have allegations of sexual assault against you. Now, you can suit up and be in the game, apparently, because we don't seem to much care if our athletes are horrible to women. We might want to think about that one. So, yeah, might want to think about that. I understand that an athlete's career is short, so it wouldn't have the same impact as a Supreme Court justice, because I can already hear the gasps of outrage. So it's not the same thing. And they're right, it's not the same thing. But let's go back to the actors and music artists. So, yeah, their careers are long, can be really long. But more than that, the movies and the music they make last well beyond their lifetime. And so shouldn't I know that the movies and the music that my great-great-grandchildren, assuming I were to have any, would be watching and listening to are not done by sexual predators? Shouldn't I have that peace of mind to know that my great-great-grandchildren are safe from the art of a sexual predator? Something to think about.